that superseded whatever the hell was going on between the Knicks and the Celtics. So I didn't get to watch it on the big screen. I had to watch it on my phone. I was that cornball guy that had the game on streaming at a couple's double date dinner with my wife and her cousin and her boyfriend. So I did do the jerk move that I just said yesterday, C-Cat, I would not pull. But it allowed me to see the team that I can't stand the most in the Boston Celtics choke away a lead like none other. Boston went 15 for 60 from beyond the arc in a game in which they led by 20 points. That lead disseminated. It collapsed little by little. 3-point clink off the back of the rim after 3-point clink. It was absolutely desirable to watch for a person that is a Celtics hater. But I did have some cognitive dissonance because I'm like, oh, as great as it is to see another great Celtics collapse, I do hate to see the Knicks succeed as well. That's why I wanted to boycott the series, man. There's no fun in that for me.
You didn't find any bit of rooting interest.
No.
Like you said, you liked watching the brick show from the Boston Celtics. You had to have loved to watch the offer for Jayson Tatum.
Oh, that's...
And him turning into a pumpkin.
Okay.
So that residual makes you root for the guys from New York.
Here's the thing, and I never for a second rooted for New York. I only rooted for the misery of the hometown Celtics fans who had to leave the Garden. By the way, Garden on Garden crime here. Like, who's the real Garden here?
That's whenever someone says going to the Garden and they're referring to TD, they're referring to Boston.
Yes.
I like grow another gray hair.
The
Garden is Madison Square Garden. Like, we can all agree this.
It is. I agree with you, but just because I like to spite Knicks fans almost as much as I like to spite the Celtics fans, I'm going to call both arenas the Garden this series. And for both of these teams, I hope somehow, some way they both can lose. But they can't. So last night, as the Celtics had the huge lead, the Knicks come storming back. Jayson Tatum, here's the most alarming part of Celtics-Knicks, of Boston's chances to repeat. The most alarming part of this is Jayson Tatum, late in the game, got the ball at the top of the key, and he was isolated on Mitchell Robinson. Now, as good as a rim defender as Mitch Robinson can be, he is absolutely not a guy that you want isolated on a guy that is taking crunch time shots, on a perimeter-oriented player, on a guy who was top 5 in scoring in the NBA, like what Jayson Tatum is. And funnily enough, when I saw that happen, I instantly yelled out in the restaurant, nobody's concerned. Not an eye blinked. Nary a coach winced. They saw Mitchell Robinson on an island with Jayson Tatum, and Tom Thibodeau, all of his assistants, Mitch Robinson himself, and everybody on that court knew the same thing that you and I knew, C-Cat, and that was that Jayson Tatum, in his silly, silly ways that we've seen time and time again in big moments, Jayson Tatum was going to settle for a bad three-pointer. And not only did he do that, he did it twice more right after he just clanked the first one off the rim. He went 0 for 3 from behind the arc in the big moment for the Celtics. And because they do not have a clutch player on that roster, because the Celtics, as fortified as they are, as much as they don't have any real weaknesses amongst their lineup, the one glaring omission from that Celtics roster right now is they don't have a capital C closer. They don't have a capital G guy with the ball in his hands as time is ticking down in big moments in the postseason. They want Jayson Tatum to be that guy. Tatum himself would like to be that guy. Hell, even myself, I get secondhand embarrassment when I see Tatum have to take shots in these kind of moments because I know time and time again it's not going to work out for him. And as much as I'm a Celtics hater, I don't hate Tatum. I can appreciate parts of the dude's game, but I got to be honest. There's nothing elite about the dude. Like, out of all the other number one options in the league, I can say, okay, he is elite at this one very trait. What is the one thing that Jayson Tatum does where you feel like he's top 5 in the NBA at it?
Driving to the rim.
No, because he doesn't do it enough, especially not when the game is on the line and especially in moments in which the Celtics need him most. You can't be top 5 at driving to the rim if you do not take the opportunity to do so when the defense would love for you to do so, but instead you're just taking step-back threes.
So you think he's a head case, mental fortitude, when it comes down to crunch time, he takes the easier road, is just hanging out beyond the arc and chucking up threes?
Sometimes I feel like guys will settle for triples settle for jump shots in a similar fashion as to why you and I would in a pickup game today, C-Cat. It's because your legs get tired late in the games.
It takes work to go body to body, man to man, driving in, probably getting double teamed with help defense and go to the rack.
Yeah. That's a way. It takes more wear and tear on your body. You're going absolutely up against physical force. There are men in your way trying to prevent you from what you're doing. Whereas when you shoot a jump shot, it's really just between you and the rim. And last night, the Celtics were married to the rim, except for they weren't letting the ball go through it. They were just bouncing it off of it. I mean, can you believe they set a postseason record for 45 missed triples? That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing, but you're happy that performance happens in game 1, right? Because that's not going to happen in games 2 through a possible 7.
I don't think the Celtics nor the Thunder are actually in any kind of danger of losing these playoff series, but I do believe they're showing the very flaws that the other contenders need to see to know that they're vulnerable enough to be taken care of. Don't for 1 second think that Anthony Edwards wasn't sitting back on his couch with a huge grin on his face as he watched not just the Thunder choke that game away, but also the Celtics allow for the Knicks to out-hustle them for rebound after rebound, allow for the Knicks to really position them in a way in which it felt like the Knicks thought they were the better team. And it seemed like at a certain point the Celtics and the Thunder were kind of playing regular season basketball last night. Felt like they were in regular season mode when the Knicks and the Nuggets, who just got out of these contentious, like deep series. The Knicks went 6 with the Pistons, and they really should have lost that series, but they snuck away. The Nuggets go 7 with the Clippers. They are in the midst of this heated competition. Everybody's looking for like a finger to point blame at who really choked things away. I mean, you could blame Chet Holmgren for getting not just posterized by Aaron Gordon, but then getting that triple that AG made was in his face. The 2 free throws he missed is the reason why instead of overtime we had a Nuggets win. Yeah, sure, you can blame Chet. I would rather blame the Grizzlies. I blame the Memphis Grizzlies because it feels like when the Thunder got their big lead, they tried to cruise to a victory in the same way that they did in the regular season, whereas this is big boy playoffs. You know what I'm saying? This is big boy basketball at this point.
See, you said that you don't think either of these top seeds are in danger, even though they got upset last night. I agree with you with Boston and New York. I don't agree with you with the Nuggets and the Thunder. Because what I saw unfold on TV before the national audience was imposter syndrome. It was, wait a second, is it true that everyone only watches the NBA come playoff time? If that's true, then people really only start paying attention to the Thunder despite having a historically dominant, a historically significant regular season in 2024 and 2025. This is when the lights turn on, especially when you see the performance where everyone's turning the game off in the first quarter against the Grizzlies, like you mentioned. I saw a team that has been there before with the Denver Nuggets who might be plotting around, messing around in the regular